Hi, I'm Jonathan Mordech, founder of V2S Games and creator of The King's Poisoner, a thrilling, out-of-the-box tabletop game of love, loyalty, ambition, and murder. If you're thinking about making your own game but don't know where to start, here are a few tips that I've found useful. The first thing and most important thing, I think, in designing a game is to clearly and succinctly define what your game's about and what you're trying to achieve by making it. With The King's Poisoner, the premise is simple. One player is the king, and everyone else is a member of their court who's either going to assassinate them or rat out the conspirators and save them. So the stakes for the game and for the players are who will they trust, what will they dare, and who will be king. I found it helpful to frame the game in that terms of the simple premise and the stakes for the players. But also, you want to have some goals that you're trying to achieve when you're designing the game. For The King's Poisoner, it was really important to me that the game was accessible to anyone, not just people who are familiar with storytelling games. I wanted people to be able to pick it up and play without any preparation or without having to rely on a facilitator or a host or a dungeon master. I wanted it to be short and compelling so it could be played in under 2 hours. And I wanted to be able to play it with a large group of friends, like 6 or more people. I think it's handy to articulate those goals if you can as early on as possible. That way you can keep coming back to the premise and what you're trying to achieve as you're going through the game development process. It helps you to focus on what's important and dispense with anything that's going to dilute the experience or detract from it. It can also be helpful to note the key themes and elements of the game. Like for The King's Poisoner, the obvious theme is court intrigue and drama, romance and suspense. There's also an element of press your luck gameplay, which I really wanted to use to be able to evoke that drama and tension. Another thing that is really important, or at least I've found, is to playtest as much as possible and as early as possible. There are plenty of playtesting and design forums and groups online and in person that you can approach or participate in, join. There's also conventions and expos which you can apply or register to showcase your game. And I encourage you not to be afraid to do so at the earliest opportunity. You can use basic rules as minimalist as possible to try and find out how close you are to achieving the goals that you've set, creating the experience, and exploring the themes that you want. Playtesting helps you find new ideas. It helps you find the aspects of the game that are most interesting, where the magic is and what captivates people by your game. For example, in The King's Poisoner, the fact that it's not social deduction and that players have the freedom to be able to play to find out what they're going to do, who they're going to betray, who they're going to stay loyal to, is a really compelling aspect. And culminating in the final card and seeing people's excitement when it comes down to the last card and the last player's turn, to see it all hang in the balance, and the excitement that comes when they get that 8 or that 5 that they've been waiting for, or they miss and see what the outcome and the result that the players create in the finale is really magical and special. And by identifying early what those key elements and unique experiences are, it helps you to communicate that more easily to potential players and for any marketing or promotion that you want to do, and to be able to tailor the rules to be able to enhance those aspects. It's really useful. It's important to listen to feedback. And I've found that the things that slow down play or that people find difficult to understand are the most important things to pay particular attention to. But it's also important to listen to all the positive things too, and the support from the playtesters and your friends and family, it can help inspire you to take the game further. And the overwhelmingly positive response from the King's Poisoner from conventions and expos and playtesting inspired me to crowdfund the game, and which I did earlier this year, where it raised over $10,000, more than double its funding goal, and will be printed and available in stores in March in 2025. So if you're interested, you can check it out. You can pre-order it for a substantial discount if you do before then, or you can download it and play it online now if you want to give it a shot beforehand. Well, I hope some of these tips have been helpful. If you want to hear more, find out more about V2S Games or the King's Poisoner, head over to v2sgames.com. And I look forward to seeing you at any of the conventions or expos, and to seeing your game out and being play tested and in stores as soon as possible. Happy gaming.